Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox, and we have another wonderful story about the SNP and their failure. This is a particularly personal failure, though. Ali Baba is not a happy man. His ego, having been massaged somewhat, has then been popped like a balloon. They're refusing to do what he wants them to do. They're refusing to lionize him, to make him look like one of the greatest things since Betty White or sliced bread. Although both of them tend to be white, and he won't like that. But we are going to have a look at this because it's all to do with the cover of Time magazine. Oh boy, how he must have revelled being featured on the cover of Time, which has, of course, put other people on the cover. There was a certain Austrian with a funny little moustache. He was on the cover too, for much the same reason, I suspect. But we'll take a look at this article to see why Humza Yousaf is not very happy with what is going on in Parliament, particularly because of the magazine. Let's have a look and laugh. Here goes. So, Humza Yousaf humiliatingly snubbed by Scottish government, who have rejected his request to publicise his Time magazine front cover. He is so up his own backside. He wanted the government, which is not supposed to be party political, to publish and promote and show this on their website. Oh, look at me, I'm the bestest ever, as I have managed to get my face on the cover of Time magazine. And he wanted the government to post it all over the government website. Oh dear, they refused to do so, and thus popped his tiny ego. He'll have to go back to just kissing the mirror, won't he? The First Minister proudly asked his administration to share the Time magazine on their social media, but was told this could not be done due to the article mainly focusing on the SNP. In other words, it wasn't a government issue, it was a party political puff piece for a big, self-important, overinflated, egotistical narcissist that we call Ali Baba. And there he is. Look at him. Look at me. I'm on the cover of Time. I've made it, Ma. I've been somebody. No, you're a regional governor. You are nothing. You are a Lord Mayor. Somebody's put you on the page, and you think that makes you an international statesman, and it does no such thing. Humza Yousaf faced a humiliating snub by his own government after he tried to make them publicise his Time magazine front page. The First Minuscule was proud to appear on the cover of the prominent international publication, as he was lauded as the country's first Muslim leader. Because that's all that's important about him. If all you've got is that you're a Muslim, then you haven't got much. You haven't got talent, skill, expertise, a successful record. Certainly not that. Dismal failure record. And so the only positive thing they can say is, well, at least he's a Muslim. It gives us something to put our, hang our coat on. Heavens to sake. In the puff piece, the journalist for the article was given unrivalled access to the newly crowned SNP leader back in August, when they accompanied him on a number of photo shoots, including in Largs and at a Ukrainian flower-laying ceremony. Very nice place, Largs. Anyway, they declared him as one of Time's next generation leaders, which was rubbished by critics. Of course it's rubbished. One, he's not a leader. And two, although he, quote, leads the party, he's merely a seat warmer for the next leader who's preparing our army. We've done that in the last video. Kate Forbes is the next leader. He's out, he's done, he's finished. Next generation leaders. Anyway, the front page became a familiar sight on the SNP's social media. I bet it did. Look at this. Plaster, 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 plaster. Every day. Have you seen this? For the 83rd time. Anyway, as they boasted about him being chosen for the article. But now the Scottish Daily Express can reveal that the Scottish government were not quite so keen on the entire ordeal. It's been an ordeal for everyone going on their website. Oh God, that picture again. Probably sick of it. Enough to make you bogue, isn't it? Anyway, a lot of preparation work went into the magazine article, with a number of photo shoots taking place, including on the balcony in his office. Oh what, he goes on the balcony to wave a tentacle at the crowds, does he? Because he thinks he's the King of Scotland. The actual article lavished praise upon him, describing him as the first Muslim politician ever elected to lead a Western democracy. Well, that's a lie. He's not the leader of a Western democracy. The Western democracy in question is the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. We've got a completely different Asian man leading it. He's not the leader of a Western democracy. He is... I suppose you could say... Well, yeah, I mentioned the word governor earlier. I suppose, it being an American magazine, he is no different from, say, the governor of a state. And it's like comparing a state governor to the president. The two are not the same. He's merely the leader of a talking shop, a devolved administration. Basically, half the mayor of London. In terms of economy and people, it's about the level, isn't it? Anyway, in emails seen by this website, the First Minister instructs his office to ask the Scottish Government to publicise the front page of their social media accounts. And one of his private secretaries emails the SNP executive to say, the First Minister has asked that our comms team do some follow-up when this is live, please. Yeah, because he wants to push it and make it the official government webpage. Look at us. Humza Yousaf manages to get himself onto the front page of Time, joining people like A.H. from Germany in the war. Can't say that. They don't. You can say Adolf, but the surname is can't put them together. But you know who I mean. And also Joe Stalin. He's also been on the front cover of Times. They've had some right bastards on there, haven't they? And now there's a new one to add to that list. The article is then published on October the 5th, but his request for all this puffery over how wonderful he is has been rebuffed by the civil servants working within the administration. And they write, just to flag that the Time Machine feature, the Time Magazine feature, has now been published. Time have shared a link to the article on Twitter here, which the FM may wish to share on his personal account. Time on X. Meet the newest class of next-gen leaders, 10 trailblazers shaping our future. However, and this is where it sort of pops his inadequate little ego. He says, unfortunately, given the party political content and focus throughout the article, it's not one we are able to post to ScotGov social channels. Apologies. I wouldn't have apologised. I'd have said, pack your ideas up, you dick. Anyway, this humiliating rejection, came due to the fact that the article focuses massively on Mr. Yousaf's dreams of breaking up the UK and also on the turmoil which had engulfed the SNP during his short, stupid, ridiculous, inept, terrible handling of being at the top. It covered Skexit, gender reforms and the Rutherglen and Hamilton West by-election, which ended in a thrashing for the nationalists. And I remember the coverage of that when we did, and boy, it was joyous. We were all up celebrating, seeing the result as it came in, and by God, I got a huge viewership the next day. I was like, but literally, I was up at like 2 o'clock or whenever when the result was in, and I did it, boom, 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 and released it early doors, first one to release kind of thing. I got a good viewing out of that one. It was marvellous, and may there be many more. Anyway, he told Time that if you can get independent support to a consistent high, so far a completely impossible feat, despite more than 16 years in power for the Nats, said then it would be impossible for the UK government to continue to say no. I don't think he understands how the Constitution works. The UK government could say no, whatever. It's their right. And no UK Prime Minister is going to be the one responsible for breaking up the UK. That's the last thing they want. And of course, we've already covered today how their numbers are falling, membership numbers are falling. They've got no corporate sponsorship. They're about to lose over half their seats at Westminster, which means a massive fail because they're going to have no money coming in and still all that expense going out. And then they go bankrupt. And he could well end up being the last leader of the SNP. So Kate Forbes better buck her ideas up and boot him out if she wants to survive. Although personally, it wouldn't bother me if they went completely and were sitting there crying into their suppers thinking, why on earth did we choose him as leader? Because you're all stupid, that's why. Anyway, there we go. I'll round up and come up. But yeah, another little joyous article. There's loads of them today. It's full of good news, isn't it? More to come. Anyway, coming up. What I find funny is he's very pleased that he was on Time magazine. I think the next thing will be Time Is Up magazine. That, of course, could be any time now. Could even be next week, next month. Certainly by the next election, it will definitely be Time Is Up. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this. Do please hit the subscribe button. Really helps the channel. Please hit the like button. Stay safe, stay well, and I will speak to you later. Bye.